You're listening to Jessica Payne, and you're taking a walk with me around my neighborhood right now. Something that I hear quite a bit from other friends, and something that's quite often on my mind, is the whole idea of first impressions. What kind of impression do you make? And are you okay with that? This is an internal question that I'm often asking myself, and I'm thinking about it a lot lately because only until recently, and I mean really recently, like this past year, have I actually owned a big thing, a big trait, physical trait of mine. I'm 6 feet tall, and for a woman that's pretty darn tall. Here in the US, I think the average is around 5'9", 5'8" maybe. But being a 6 foot tall woman is something I've always been aware of. I've always been aware of my size, and like I said, only until very recently have I actually stepped into fully owning that. Now I know that when I walk into a room, I can actually use my size to my advantage. And conversely, I also make sure that I come into a room and not dominate. You know, I want to make people feel that they can talk to me. I'm a coach. So I want to make sure that they're comfortable opening up to me. And if you're large in stature, if you're a large physical size, that can be intimidating. So it got me thinking, what kind of impression do you make? Are you aware of that impression? And what can you do to make others feel comfortable? This is kind of a deep question. You know, the majority of my time I'm thinking about branding and business, but if you think about first impressions and how important they are, this is a question that you should really ask yourself pretty regularly. So today is your thought, you know, as you're walking home, maybe you're commuting, maybe you are taking a minute having a cup of coffee, ask yourself this question. Do you run a business? What kind of first impression do you make? How does that first impression extend itself? On social media, on your website? Maybe you don't own a business. Maybe you are trying to improve your networking at work. What kind of impression do you make? And you know who's really good at giving you feedback is choose a handful of friends, people that will give you unfiltered feedback. See what kind of great things they list and see what kind of things you can work on. First impressions are super important. And so that's sort of the thought of today. So thanks for taking a walk with me. Ask yourself this question. It's kind of a deep one. What kind of impression do you make? And have a great day.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.